morning, everyone. I'm Luke.
And I'm Mark, and we're coming here live from the Bungie studios. Yeah.
It is. If you've been on the internet the last few days, it is the leakiest ship on the internet.
It's true.
So what we've got today, we've got a cool show lined up for you. Behind us, you can see Dado getting ready, Dado, Ben, and Catherine. We're going to talk about Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, which is the next chapter coming out this fall. But first, let's take a look at it.
Looking to the future always brings us back to the past. Can you feel them? I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked has awakened. We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or another.
Bam, bam.
The question on everyone's mind since Bungie's gone truly independent and is in complete control of Destiny's future. We're publishing the game now. We're an independent company.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Is now what? What's the plan? Where are we headed?
Alors,
So the way that we talk about where we're headed is like the way we've talked about over the years is what's the vision for what we're trying to do. And so the vision for Destiny going forward, the Destiny franchise, is contained in like 3 parts. The first part is being an awesome action MMO. And
Yeah, we've been worried about that term for a
Je
long
suis
time.
très hypé
We've
par
shied
ce
away
trailer
from
déjà.
using that,
MMO.
yeah, because it comes with a lot of baggage. It's like, does that mean it's a subscription
méga.
game, or you got to play with a mouse and keyboard, or whatever? But like, man, this is one of those things. We're on our own now, and it walks like a duck.
Donc là, ils sont
quacks like a
d'expliquer
duck.
qu'ils
It's a
sont
duck.
plus avec
Like,
Activision.
we can accept the fact that this is what the game
There's
is.
like duck emojis out in the chat right now. But like when we say MMO, we don't mean like subscriptions. We don't mean subscriptions. We do mean 2 things. The first part where we're lacking right now, and we've like been getting better, Forsaken certainly adds to it, is improving the RPG.
Yeah, we really, want deeper build customization for our players and for your
Plus de
characters.
custo,
You're
plus
creating these
d'aspect
monster
RPG.
kill machines, and you want to make them your own, and we can do a lot more there.
And so a bunch of what we're doing this
Ça
fall
va.
is going to be about adding the stats back into the game, RPGing the game more than it was. And D2 launched away, Forsaken improved it, and we think Shadowkeep's going to take that kind of to the next level. The second part about what we mean when we say RPG is really important to us. It's about improving social. Like this is a place where it can be hard to find grouping, it can be hard to make friends.
Et plus renforcer l'aspect social.
For years,
Voilà,
as
ça.
we've been like dodging the MMO term, is like
Bon,
it's
ça,
a
c'est
game
des grands mots,
that's
hein.
played with your friends. And so this is one of the things that
C'est de
on the
régler un
long
truc en
horizon
même
of the
temps.
Destiny franchise, like we have to improve the
Ah, voilà.
social game.
Yeah, like, and
Ah,
I
c'est
just
pas
want to
ça.
take a moment to say, this isn't changing anything about the core action game of Destiny. Like, it is so fun and amazing to shoot monsters in their heads, get headshots, and see their souls escaping their body, and you slip behind cover. Like, at its core, Destiny is an action game. But we're also not afraid to say it's an action MMO, and that's where we're headed. We're taking steps there this year.
And so part 1 of the vision,
On
awesome
veut
action
renforcer l'aspect
MMO.
MMO.
Part 2 of the vision for Destiny going forward is a single
C'est pas
evolving
une trad,
world.
hein.
And we have been close to the mark in some ways and far off in others. The way we've been close is stuff like what happened in Forsaken when Raid Team goes into the Dreaming City, they kill Riven, and they launch this Dreaming City cycle that like transforms the world. And we think that's awesome, and we want to do more things like that.
When the
Ils veulent faire
community
plus
gets
de
to come
choses comme
together and
le
discover
truc qui avait
secrets
débloqué
and solve problems,
quelque chose
and
à la
push
Cité
the
des Rêves
world
quand ils
forward,
avaient
push
réussi
that
le
narrative
World
forward,
First.
that's when the game really feels like it's not a game, but a real world.
Yeah, for people who don't know some of where I came from, like in my
Bah,
time
pour l'instant, ils expliquent pas de
in WoW, the
réel
Scareboard
fact,
its
c'est pour
opening
ça
event was
que
this moment that brought
je dis
these
pas
huge
grand-chose.
communities
I've
together.
never heard of that.
It became this awesome event, and I think the potential of what we're trying to do with Destiny is create moments like that create bonds
gentil.
between players and let players work together to change the world. The third part of the vision here is
En gros, ils
playing
veulent
anywhere.
Yeah, we
renforcer
want you to be able to
le...
play Destiny anytime, anywhere with your
l'aspect
friends. And
communautaire.
we're definitely going to take steps here this year. Like, and the first one.
Well, I don't know which first you want to
Merci.
do. Like, we're just coming off of the Stadia announcement, which is our
Merci
partnership with Google.
antivirus. Donc là, il parle de la
So
conf
with
Stadia qui vient d'avoir lieu.
You know, Destiny 2 is coming to Stadia this year.
Qui sera sur
which is gonna be awesome
Stadia.
because It means you're going to be able to play Destiny anywhere you have a Chrome browser with their controller, and that's going to be just incredible.
Tout endroit où vous avez
for
accès à Chrome.
you know,
Donc,
you're not going to have to
compris
lug your
ton
PS4 home to your
téléphone,
mom's place at Christmas anymore. You know, in case they're
une
selling
télé,
one-eye mask or
votre ordi.
whatever. Like, that's not a promise.
You know who's been
sans
talking
avoir
about
besoin
this?
d'un PC de la NASA, bien sûr.
Constantly talking about where he's gonna play. Can't wait to play on my. It just lists a litany of devices that he wants to play. He wants to play Destiny on, and like he's just
And that
super
story's just cracked wide open with Stadia. So we're super excited about that because it lets you literally play.
Et Stadia renforce le côté,
So it's a
on peut
great
jouer où on
fit
veut,
for
quand on
the
veut.
vision.
Voilà.
And then the next thing, do you want to just jump? Like we have like our set list that we're moving through. And so the next thing on the list, there's been a little bit of talk about over the last like 24 hours. Like maybe you want to talk about cross save.
So yeah, cross save is coming to Destiny 2 finally, and we're super excited about that. What cross save is, it is about taking Guardians that you've created and being able to play them on any platform. And we
Même la
are,
PS4?
super excited about that, and we know fans have been asking for a long time. And
Donc le cross-save, votre personnage peut récupérer votre sauvegarde sur n'importe quelle plateforme.
I just want to be super clear about this. Cross save is coming to all platforms, all of them: PlayStation, Xbox,
PlayStation aussi.
PC,
Cool.
and Stadia.
Donc vous allez pouvoir par exemple prendre votre
There's some
personnage
People
de
playing in the studio.
Xbox et l'amener sur la Stadia, de PS4 et l'amener sur le PC.
We're super excited about that, and
Votre
Bungie and
personnage,
Sony
personnage,
are working
yeah.
together to ensure that cross save is coming to PS4 when Shadowkeep launches.
For like years, we would go to do interviews with.
Normalement,
with
ça devrait être bon
dodge
sur la
this question
Play.
so many times about like, which platform do you
ils
play on? Which platform should you play
Play
on?
wherever your friends are.
Mais ce sera bon.
Our answer has always been like, oh, well, we're gonna like message back to like, yeah, the best place to play Destiny is where your friends are. But cross save makes that statement actually true because you can go from PC to PS4 and wherever you want to play.
Du coup, vous allez tous venir sur PC là?
Rating is where you can
So
play.
you've probably seen reports on the internet, and that may be different to this. There's a reason we do these shows live.
C'est pas ça qu'ils ont dit.
It's for the really awkward.
Yeah.
It's for us like stammering back and forth. So the next thing on our list here, do you want to talk? Let's talk about.
Yeah,
Ouais,
like,
viens, Lucie.
when we think of anytime, anywhere, that third part of the vision, cross save, Stadia, those are parts of it. But we have some real barriers to making that.
Non, c'est cross-save, donc
true
tu
and
transfères ta
really,
partie, ta progression.
Making that a reality.
C'est pas un joueur de
Unfortunately,
Play qui
it
joue
came
avec
out
un
last
joueur
year, for
PC.
instance.
C'est pas
Look in
ça.
the first-party stores.
Merci
There's
beaucoup en tout cas,
9
Antios.
different versions of the game. You need like some kind of decoder ring to figure out what you're supposed to
Tout le temps te
purchase.
dire merci
It's
correctement.
like
Quand
just
même,
way too
29 mois.
confusing to figure out what you're supposed to buy.
So the reason, our answer to this like big problem is, what if we just create a free entry point for the game and create a brand new way for players to, well, a brand new-ish way for players to enter the universe. But there's still this problem of, oh gosh, I've got like 40 hours of game to play. I've got to like get through these campaigns, which are cool, but that's not really the part of the game that matters if you're playing for
Like,
hardcore reasons.
In the season of Opulence, Menagerie just came out. It's a 6-player match-made activity. It's awesome. I love playing it. But if I'm going to recommend it to a friend who's not playing Destiny, it's like, well, you got to buy this version of the game, then you buy this other version of the game, then you got to play all that. And I'm not going to play with you because you're doing old stuff. And so it's going to take.
Donc il parle du problème que les gens doivent rattraper la progression. Il faut qu'on soit au même niveau pour jouer aux mêmes activités.
In 10, 15, 20 minutes, you now arrive at the part of the game that matters to you and your friends, where you're like jumping into Gambit, Crucible, etc. This is about crushing the barriers between friends and making it a game where you're like, there's something awesome happening in Destiny, I'm going to go check it out. And New Light's totally free.
It's free. You download New Light, create this character within 15
Donc
minutes.
Destiny New Light, c'est la version de base de Destiny 2. Ça va être free to play. Ça passe free to play.
The other part of this handshake is the way we're
Vous
thinking
pouvez le dire à
about
tous vos potes qui n'ont pas
selling
encore
the
pris
game
Destiny.
now. We have for years had this like compounding purchase model, even something like the annual pass, which I think we've learned a bunch from, and we have plans for how we're going to iterate on it over time. It meant that up front you had to spend $35 rather than maybe purchasing things a la carte, and that strategy is a strategy that we're changing now that we're in control.
Donc il change de stratégie monétaire, on va dire.
We're thinking of our content kind of like atomic packages that go on top of that. So Destiny 2 Shadowkeep is completely standalone.
Donc Destiny Shadowkeep, la nouvelle extension qui arrive donc en septembre, j'imagine.
You don't need to play Forsaken.
C'est un standalone et vous n'avez pas besoin d'avoir fait les autres extensions, les autres contenus. Du coup, vous pouvez tout de suite, même si vous n'avez jamais joué, prendre le truc free-to-play et direct prendre le truc pour être au même niveau que les gens qui vont découvrir cette extension. Voilà. Oui, c'est ça, c'est en septembre. J'ai retweeté l'info.
Exclusive activities, exclusive weapons, things like this, and those things violate kind of that second part of the vision, which is that single evolving world. So going forward and beginning this fall,
single community of players where everyone can be together, but you're like, well, let's play this strike. Oh, sorry, I don't have that strike on my box.
So we want to remove those barriers, and now going forward, there's going to be no more.
En fait, ils veulent aussi que les gens reviennent. Je pense parce qu'il y a une partie de la communauté qui. Moi-même, ça fait quelques temps là que j'ai pas joué à Destiny. Pas forcément, et ça va même faire venir des nouveaux normalement.
Destiny 2 on PC needs to find a new home.
Some would say we need to find an epic partner.
Voilà.
Yeah, and so we need to find a new home, and because we're self-publishing Destiny now, and we're truly on our own.
Donc ils vont changer de plateforme pour le PC. Et voilà, Destiny 2 va être sur Steam.
Destiny 2, they're going to be able to come over to Steam, free of charge. They're going to continue their accounts. They're going to continue all their possessions.
Et bien sûr, vous conservez votre progression PC. Vous n'avez pas à tout refaire.
Shadowkeep, the D2 expansion that's coming out this fall, is going to be shipping exclusively on Steam this year.
It's kind of like when you relocate for a job, and they relocate.
Et du coup, l'extension sera que sur Steam.
Loads all your stuff and then takes it. You show up at your new house and it's all there. But this time we're gonna unpack it and move you over to Steam.
Pas sur
la
tablette. On doit tout réinstaller. Oh, ça va. Pas le temps là, d'ici que ça arrive. T'as plusieurs mois.
So a thing that we want to try to do to wrap all of this up is do the Instagram cut down version of everything we just talked about in 20 seconds. So the vision for Destiny going forward is pretty simple. It's an awesome action MMO in a single evolving world that you can play anywhere. By playing anywhere, that means cross-save across all of our platforms. We have a new platform that we're adding this year, Stadia. We have a new entry point for the game called Destiny 2 New Light.
Et du coup, comment ça se passe pour les...
Everything we add to the game is going to be purchased à la carte going forward. So
pour Renega, par exemple.
Let's say in Season 8 we start to lay the foundation for some changes we want to make to PvP. But it doesn't tempt you to come back yet. Well, maybe in Season 9 we'll have something that's going to make you want to come back for sure. No more exclusives going forward for us in terms of gameplay, armor, and weapons.
Sony,
and if you're playing the game on PC, we're moving you to Steam. That's kind of that's the end of the set list. The encore, if we're carrying the music thing forward, is this awesome?
I think it's more than an encore.
Yeah, actually, we are we're the opening act.
Yeah, they've been watching two dudes talk to you for 12 minutes or whatever.
So, the main event is coming up. Dato's behind us getting ready. But first, let's take a look at a new Vidoc called Out of the Shadows.
N'hésitez pas à réexpliquer les choses, oui, qu'on a déjà abordées pour ceux qui arrivent.
This really is the beginning of a new era, and I think beginning is an important part of that sentence.
This is the first time I think that, in a long time that Bungie has stood kind of on its own.
When we're self-publishing, it's a really big deal. There's a huge opportunity here for us to really make our own decisions.
It's a turning point for us. We are in charge of our own destiny. It's empowering and terrifying at the same time.
There are only two groups who are going to decide what happens to Destiny next. Bungie and the players who play Destiny.
Ils mettent grave l'accent sur le fait qu'ils sont self-published maintenant. C'est littéralement tout le propos en fait. Oh, le titre, Out of the Shadows. C'est quand même un peu un pied de nez aussi. Hein.
So at its core, Shadowkeep is about returning to the moon.
Retour sur la lune. Moi ça me plaît. Mais ça a changé, bien sûr, par rapport à Destiny 1. Encore effectivement, il n'y avait pas ça.
When you go back, it isn't exactly what you thought it was.
There's huge cracks ripped into it. There's a weird scarlet fortress.
And
so the context of the moon has been updated entirely.
Mais bien sûr, ils ont tout repensé. Hein. Ils ont appelé ça une forteresse, la tour.
Terrifying.
Notre pote! Notre meilleur pote, Cropta.
The moon this time around is something really scary that is playing on your fear in a way that hasn't happened before. Before it was, oh, it's a big giant thing and it's scary, but now there's actual like some psychological elements to that.
How long has it sat in silence, watching us?
Much too long.
Having Eris Morn come back instantly signals to players the tone shift and change.
There's an undertone super personnage
and psychological horror.
You're all insufferable.
Si nous montre ça là.
We want to tap into what makes Guardians afraid. What are their worst fears?
Shadowkeep refers to the things that Eris unleashed on the solar system. Nightmares are manifestations of a Guardian's past.
What if the villains
C'est les cauchemars du passé.
Were well into the ground actually weren't, and they were being resurrected by the darkness.
Et ils ont été donc réanimés par les ténèbres.
This kind of madness, and so she needs your help.
Pour le coup, je trouve ça cool. J'aime pas forcément quand on remet des anciennes armes ou quoi, mais.
Make them go away.
What if you can't do all of the things that you've grown accustomed to doing?
Being unable to achieve what you're trying to achieve, no matter how hard you try.
Players, they think we can deal with this. We killed Crota, like we killed Oryx. Like, no big deal, right? Well, you're gonna get there and you discover it's a bigger deal than you even thought it could be.
The darkness is actually a lot closer than you realized.
Les ténèbres sont plus proches que l'on pensait. Oh, il est trop stylé ce perso, j'adore. Enfin, moi j'aime bien. Après, ils vont nous faire une petite mise en scène. J'aime tu aller là, on n'a pas le droit.
Just a constant two-way dialogue with all of our passionate players.
Under it or on the sides of it more.
Si là, je suis déjà
That's
allé.
really informed what it is that players want out of the Destiny game and how we're evolving, not just the story of the world, but what happens to you as a Guardian.
Like the thing that was supposed to blow you back or whatever, it's related to acceleration.
A bunch of the work that we're doing is about adding depth to the character sheet. You know, the teams are thinking about how do we want to evolve armor, get more stats into the game, get more player customization.
Plus de customisation, plus de stats.
Want to play with this awesome character you've been building now for, you know, some of us 5
Enfin,
years.
rajouter des stats.
Completely new ways of deepening the like character
Merci
RPG
beaucoup
that we all know and love
pour ton prime.
and want to be better.
Merci à toi. Elijah. Ah, j'aime bien si on renforce le.
In Shadowkeep, we are fundamentally evolving
que je trouve.
the systems and moving the world
Enfin bon, on va
forward.
pas.
You want to bring some of that sci-fi
Les
element
écoute.
back.
Je trouve qu'on a un peu perdu ça dans Destiny 2 en fait.
We've been
En termes
dancing
de
this line
build.
between of like, are we RPG enough? Are we not RPG enough? And now we're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all in and just say like, hey, let's give players what they want.
Merci bien, c'est ce qu'on veut, oui.
Allow them to kind of like customize their players and their habits and their game modes and all that stuff as much as they want to.
J'ai chaud, hein, désolé.
So in Shadowkeep, what we're doing is changing the way that armor, perks, and mods work pretty significantly.
Right now in the game, if you have an armor set that you like the look of, but you have another armor set that you like the way it plays, you're probably going to pick the one that you like the way it plays.
Ah!
Armor 2.0 is focused on allowing you to take the mods that you've unlocked and apply them to any given piece of armor.
Ok, les mods qu'on aura sur les pièces d'armure, on les met sur l'armure qui nous plaît visuellement.
Personally, I'm excited about the artifact. Players just get to kind of like fidget with these knobs and switches and do all the things that they want to do.
When you get to this last tier, each of these perks gets relatively close to what an exotic might feel like. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Ok, c'est des perks très fortes sur la dernière colonne. Ah, mais c'est bon ça! Man, ma pause aura pas été longue, hein. J'aurais pas tenu correctement. Hein. Je vous disais la semaine dernière. On va faire une petite pause. Ouais.
I mean, there's some crazy ones.
For the hunter, this awesome flourish where he actually does like spin in front of him, has 2 knives, and then just hits.
I was like, what the heck? Like, what game is this?
Putain!
Yeah, Titan finisher. He jumps in the air, pulls back, looks at his fist, and...
Ils ont fait exprès de remettre le gars qui fait les bruits.
Bah
complètement, oui. Là, on a carrément un nouvel arbre, vous l'avez vu. Oh, man. Pourquoi ils sortent pas ça l'été? Ce serait tellement cool.
We're in the playtest lab every day, trying to figure out what's good for the game, what do people want, what have they been asking for, trying new ideas.
So I want to try. I had a radar hiding.
Let me know how it feels to get shot by the heavy bow.
Du coup, j'ai envie de jouer à des
working on an exotic heavy bow. And I'm just working on figuring out some.
C'est bien, en plus, Simon, comment il taffe.
Trying to see
c'est génial.
how big this. Okay, that's probably too much, but you get the idea. This is an exotic trace rifle. Fire it on an enemy and it creates a big old.
Moi, je suis impatiente, je veux pas qu'on perde l'été quand même, tu vois. Donc c'est les
Here's
deux.
a hand cannon that Victor's working on. It fires special ammo, and it's a little bit like a one-handed sniper.
Okay.
Like, it's actually our only hand cannon with a scope on it. Right now, it kind of lights you on fire if you keep firing it too much. We'll see. Some people like it, some people are kind of but we'll hammer it all out.
Alright, it's time. It's about to get loud in here.
On va reformer une team de choc là, allez.
One of the things we really want to focus on,
On l'a encore,
especially
hein.
with Season 8 and the start of Shadowkeep, is a renewed focus on PvP.
You're all on the other team.
We're updating labs to include some much-loved game types from the past. We're also redoing a bunch of the playlists and how they work. But
des
the
modes
really
qu'on aimait
important
bien
thing
avant.
for players to know is this is just the beginning. This is us building the foundation of what we're doing with the Crucible going forward.
Et c'est juste le début. Ce qui veut dire, je pense qu'ils vont ramener le jugement. Mais pas tout de suite, je pense.
Previously, you would have a 20, 40, 60-hour climb before you could
Ils
do what's
assainissent en
considered
fait.
in-game content. And now you can pretty much do that immediately.
We want you to
Ils
feel like
suppriment
you're
la partie
in the endgame
grind un
from
peu.
the moment you
Ça,
step
c'est
on the
dommage.
planet.
En gros, tu peux tout de suite aller dans le contenu intéressant.
And becoming more powerful, overcoming dungeons, overcoming raids.
Oh man!
We had multiple destinations that we were considering, and Black Garden was like immediately top of the list.
Jardin
And everyone
Noir.
was like yes, and I was like yes, that's the one I wanted.
Ah, c'est full nostalgie, mais tant pis. Hein.
Forsaken, we started finding more
Choquée, là.
ways for players to customize and personalize their character and differentiate themselves. Shadowkeep's going to push
Rollboy.
even further in that direction.
The
J'ai le même.
which is really guiding us in a bunch of ways is depth. It's about experiential depth. When we look at how we're thinking about the next 3-5 years, it's really important to us.
It's cool to have a game that you can invest in with your friends, tweak
Il
your
a body,
monster
hein.
killing machine and make it
Ah bah
2%
c'était avec le,
better
bien sûr, oui.
every
J'avais pas
weekend,
vu le sniper.
doing different things and figuring out how to
c'était.
craft this perfect build that you feel like is your own. Like, that is cool. There's nothing nerdy about it. We're like happy to own that. We're gonna stand on that corner.
Oh, mais c'était la map que j'aime bien. Celle avec la... avec l'église. Je kiffe cette map. C'était bien ça, les
As
gens, non?
things change, if the game doesn't feel like it's changing to meet the new landscape, it just all fall down. You know, part of our DNA is finding different ways to bring people together. We needed a way to crush the
Trop
barriers
bien.
between friends.
Elle est trop bien, cette map.
We all have friends who could play Destiny, who
Bah,
are
moi, j'aime bien.
interested in it.
Oui, bon, ouais.
But then we think about recommending it, like, oh man, you're gonna have to play about 40 hours by yourself, and then you gotta pay all this money, and you know, maybe you should just play something else. And that can't be the story. We need an entry point for your friends to be able to get into Destiny.
Bon, là, ils veulent tout simplement...
This is just
c'est...
simply about
Ils veulent que les gens jouent au jeu, hein.
to make it easy for players
Et que
to
ce
enter
soit
this
simple, en fait,
universe.
pour quelqu'un de jouer au
There's
jeu
a
alors
new
qu'il a
entry
jamais
point
joué.
coming out in September called New Light. New
Pas en
Light
difficulté,
is
hein, en
free to download experience.
possibilité de vous
We're
rejoindre très
gonna start off in
rapidement.
the same place where Guardians first came into the world.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Putain.
It worked. You're alive.
You started in the Cosmodrome.
You're going back.
Going back. Yeah, blast from the past.
Okay, it's not going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city.
It's as easy as come in, make a character, play the amazing introduction to the game.
Souvenir, grave.
And then land in the tower.
And then we'll
Il y a
set them
cross-save
loose
d'Alex, on
to
en a
open
parlé
up the
depuis
world
là.
as they see fit.
And have sort of an array
Je
of
rediffuserai de
potential in
toute
front
façon.
of you.
You can just start
Merci
playing the game and
Serve
get
pour
into
ton
some of
raid,
the
j'ai
same
pas mis les
activities
alertes.
that your friends might be playing.
Merci beaucoup.
The campaigns from D2 Year 1, The Red War, Curse of Osiris,
Merci à
Warmind.
toi.
Every world we have will be available for them to explore and to free roam and to do bounties on. Every cooperative strike, whether they're playing with friends or matchmaking, every competitive multiplayer map.
The D2 Year 1 raids like Leviathan.
Full
Ah non, lui,
access
je veux plus le voir.
to Gambit, the
Pire raid,
hybrid
là.
mode that we have. All these things are available to them for nothing.
Et tout ça là, c'est free to play, les gens. Tout ça là, tout ce qu'on vient de voir.
We've always said that Destiny is best when you play it with your friends, and we're trying to make it easier. So if your friends who are playing Destiny are on different platforms, we're adding cross saves so that you can move between the
Donc le
different
cross-save,
platforms
le
and play wherever your
fameux
friends are.
Like
d'Alex.
if I'm playing and I want to move over to my PC, I should have my character go with me. We want Destiny to meet you wherever you want to play, so that's incredibly important for us.
We wanted cross-save before we shipped Destiny 2, right? Like a bunch of it was built.
Oh,
We
vous avez
just
vu?
couldn't get there for capital R reasons. And many of those reasons have disappeared. So we are headed full steam ahead on that. And we got to figure out how we're going to get there and how we're going to give the players what they want.
As culture as we can get. Thanks, buddy. Our original vision for Destiny was a
Même pour PS4 normalement.
evolve and change.
We're leaning really hard into that because we believe that's where the future of Destiny is.
Mais c'est pas encore complètement validé, je crois, par Sony ou c'est un truc comme ça, mais ils vont le faire. Si j'ai bien compris. Putain, je vais aller dans la forteresse là, ça a l'air stylé.
We can completely build Destiny and the vision that we
Il l'annonce comme quasi fait en fait, c'est juste qu'il négocie. Donc c'est juste une question de terme, de l'accord.
what we want to do for our players and what they want us to do with Destiny.
Je sais pas à partir de quand le free-to-play, je pense que ce sera même un.
We have a series of missions that we need to finish.
Je rediffuserai sur YouTube du coup juste après, t'inquiète. Après s'il y a des courageux, n'hésitez pas. Hein.
So to speak.
On va faire le résumé, mais c'est un peu compliqué là. T'arrives après 28 minutes de conférence. Les gens. Et en plus, je crois qu'ils vont nous montrer du jeu.
Welcome, gamers, to the Q&A
il aurait dû
portion
être
of the stream. Someone's very enthusiastic back there. There we go. There's a bunch more enthusiasm. Welcome to the Q&A portion of the stream. If you know who I am, you're probably pretty familiar with me doing Q&A stuff. If you don't know who I am, I'm here to embarrass myself in front of thousands of people for the second time in a week. And I'm also your personal
Enfin, the second time, parce qu'ils ont eu le World, ils ont pas eu le World First à 6 minutes. Mais ils ont cru qu'ils l'avaient.
I'm here, that was really loud. I'm here with Ben and Catherine.
Parce qu'ils ont eu les 6 exos, ça a
We're
bugué.
going to talk a little story action for Shadowkeep.
Great.
And the first thing I'm going to start with is Eris evil? Because she's kind of seemed evil, but at the same time, like, not evil, like, sort of in a driftery way.
So
Talk to me.
Eris is definitely not your sterling like character like Zavala or Cora. She's more complicated. She's been through a lot. She's this enigmatic, like mysterious character with tons of power. It's always on the edge of every new threat that's coming. And so she's decidedly not evil. I can say that pretty firmly.
Ah, c'est bon.
What she is the one who's going to take us into a new threat.
Elle est pas méchante, elle nous indique quand il y a des dangers. Et on doit forcément y aller du coup.
She's come back. She's been gone for a long time, and there's been a lot of parts of the
Et à
Eris
chaque
story
fois, elle a une
that
vie
hint
difficile.
at. You know, we've seen lore books. We've got like seen what she did after the tower blew up. We knew that she went off. We know that she's worked with Marisov for a long time, and well, all those journeys that she's done have brought her back to the moon. A moon that
Ils nous emmènent vers le danger, c'est ça. Elle arrive, elle est là. Oh, c'est chaud par là.
She's discovered something even darker in the dark below.
The Dark Below. I see what you did there.
Trying.
Dark Below.
Dark Below.
Didn't drop my pen. Speaking of Marisov and all that, I'll pose this question to you. Is this connected to any of the events of Forsaken? Is this connected to Mara?
Est-ce qu'il y a une connexion entre les événements de Forsaken et ce qu'on va avoir?
Between the two?
We aren't talking about Mara specifically in Shadowkeep.
Okay.
This is an Eris story, but like what we're doing here is we like the Dreaming City was a really fun like way of exploring like the deep lore of Destiny, right? Like we had Truth to Power and we had all the curse weeks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I was definitely
Marisov vignettes.
Marisov vignettes. So this is like we want to do that, but like for Eris, right?
Right.
Like we want to just go.
Ils veulent donner la profondeur qu'ils ont donnée avec la Cité des Rêves.
Like you said, she's a super enigmatic character.
Mais au personnage de
Eris, totally appear to be evil. Like she uses the powers of darkness and sources all her magic from the Hive.
Right.
Like why? Like what is all that?
Yeah, and she's doing it to protect humanity. That is like her mission she's had for a long time. And if you think back, Eris's entire journey, what happened to her? Her fire team was like, slaughtered by Crota, and she barely survived and had to transform herself. And she crawled back to like rally people to destroy this threat that would have consumed the last city and all of the rest of humanity. And then she saw Oryx was coming too, and she worked with all these forces that players and everyone else in the city had no idea were even around to try to stop it. You know, she does things that no one else can. And she's doing that one more time.
Well, she's persevering a lot. I feel like eventually just like, get over it. Like, fire team's dead, but you know, we got Crota, right? Like, give it up, lady. But
I think that's like not fair entirely, maybe because
no,
like,
I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Forsaken real quick. Are we getting any hints of like what's going on with Uldren and Marisov? Like Uldren, we kind of got like a cutscene, and then it's like, all right, that's it. And then
il demande s'il va y avoir autre chose concernant Uldren et Marisov.
Sit here and talk about Uldren.
Putain, je transpire.
That's a conversation for another time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ils vont pas en parler.
And I'm going to turn back to Eris on the moon.
Et il revient à Eris.
I'm just super excited by what we're actually going to expose. It's not just what Eris is doing there right now. It's not just about this new threat. It's not just about nightmares, which are now infesting our moon. It's about the history there, and it's about what's changed since you were last there. The moon that we remember from people who played Destiny 1, a lot has happened since they were last there.
Well, that was actually one of my next questions: is how is the moon different compared to Destiny 1?
Comment la lune a changé par rapport à Destiny 1?
Pretty intricate design for the hive and everything. How is that changing in Shadowkeep?
Parce que du coup c'était design pour la ruche, quand même.
It's twice as big as the moon you remember.
Yeah.
Twice as big.
Twice as big.
2 fois plus grand que la lune
de
Destiny 1.
Red citadel now.
Yeah.
Looming threats, and there's mysterious like entities, nightmares that are pushing out everywhere. There's also smaller stories that have been uncovered because of all
Il y a aussi des petites histoires à côté.
This chaos and happening in that place. The Fallen have a new place that they've set up, and they have their own reasons for doing that.
Non, rien à voir.
Cracks of like divided places you've been before, and they're going to change how you like play and you sparrow and move through them. And you're going to discover old stories from who knows how long ago with characters that you remember, and they're going to expose more of what actually is coming in the future.
Are we going to see any potential new characters popping in?
Est-ce qu'il va y avoir des nouveaux personnages?
Well, there's one of my favorite characters. I'm not going to say it though because it's spoilers.
Okay, fine.
I'm not going to tell you that.
That's fine.
There's a ton of what this character does, and I read through all the scripts and I thought it was really awesome.
Okay.
Un personnage très stylé.
Consider me intrigued.
C'est Goodies.
I guess one of the final questions I have
is
why this storyline as opposed to any other storyline that you guys might have considered?
So we have internally, Bungie is a lot like the players in that we're always talking about Destiny as fans, because we are fans of our own game. Like we're fans first of Destiny.
Ils sont fans de leur propre jeu.
Moon is a fan favorite inside the studio, and so it always comes up. Okay, well, when are we going back to the moon? What about the moon? Like we just don't go there anymore. We should go.
Et
back.
ça les tentait eux-mêmes en fait de retourner sur la lune.
Is that on the moon? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It turns into this fervor and excitement that okay, we're going back to the moon. How do we make that work?
Right.
And the thing about every Destiny
Le jeu de base, les gens, sera free to play. C'est l'extension que vous allez devoir acheter.
And the stories that we have, but there's always more. there's always like another horizon or another like
déjà pour le grind de début,
like
t'es
entire
cool.
region that is not yet explored.
Ça te reviendra pas si cher que ça normalement. On va voir un petit peu et je pense qu'ils vont parler des prix.
That we're just waiting for us to like find the right time to tell.
Absolutely.
The moon has some great stories.
Yeah, I will have some follow-up questions related to story stuff later in the show, but that is just something I want to know, like.
C'est un streamer, lui, pour ceux qui n'auraient jamais suivi. Et la personne qui nous a permis d'avoir le pic infectieux dans D1.
Or like, maybe we scrap that all together, or was it just like, this is happening, like, we want to go to the moon next, like, let's do it?
It's mostly that.
Yeah,
I think
the passion comes first.
The passion comes first. Okay. I think we're constantly thinking, like, as he said, we're all players of this game, and we're all like, oh man, yeah.
Donc voilà, ils se sont posés la question de ce que eux ils aimeraient, voilà.
To all these stories that we've been exploring for a while, and like, you know, it's just something. It's whatever is most exciting to us at any given time.
Yeah, and I think it's a relatable feeling that we're going after too. I mean, the moon is a place that was very dear to a lot of players' hearts, but it's also new to a lot of other players. And so, like, I consider it like you take your best friend back to your hometown. You haven't been there in 5 years, and it's changed. Like what has been torn down? What new is there? What's so amazing? You can explore it. Like, my favorite Chinese place is gone, and now it's an organic grocery store. No, I'm gonna go buy all the lettuce. You know, like, you're gonna have. There's going to be these moments where you're going to rediscover everything, and it's going to have meaning for you, and then your friend's going to have meaning for you.
Et t'auras pas besoin de reprendre Renega, etc. Tu pourras directement jouer à l'extension.
Like, Moon was like the big destination in old D1, and you're just like, okay, yes, we're going there, or I'm going to bring all my friends there. Like, I can bring
je comprends Capsule, mais ça c'est
I
plusieurs
was even calling New Light First Light for a while.
D'ailleurs, Stone, ils m'ont offert 10 paquets de cartes.
Exactly.
C'est gentil ça.
You make a little look at First Light.
Tellement ça fait longtemps.
Running around the moon.
Oh, look forward to it.
Big nostalgia factor.
All right, do you guys have anything else to add before we transition here?
One thing, like when you talk about Marasov, the thing that I really loved about Dreaming City as someone who played it at home was going to the vignettes. And every few weeks, and we really loved how that was.
Ils aimaient la mécanique que toutes les semaines, il y avait des nouveautés par rapport à Marasov.
So look for cool lore drops like that over time, similarly to Dreaming City.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys very, very much for joining me.
Thanks.
I'm going to rotate you guys out for some new guys, and don't forget to take your mug.
Yep.
Oh.
Otherwise, I get yelled at.
My mug, you can't have.
All right. Fair enough. Next to the stage, we have Justin and Del. Welcome. Welcome. You guys, I have to grill you guys a little bit more than the story guys. Story guys, like, yeah, let's have a fun little intro. But now we're getting into systems and the seasons and that kind of stuff, real nitty gritty. So I got to grill you guys a little bit more. So let's start with Sandbox. Sandbox changes have been limited to approximately once per season. To many people, they think these need to happen a little more frequently. Are there any plans to change that?
Les petits changements,
are there any barriers to more frequent updates?
Well, we have
de gameplay arrive plus souvent.
Every season to really look at the sandbox and how it's playing. And so we're going to keep that. Like we think that's a good cadence. Every season, there's like some big update to the sandbox and how it's playing, making
les ajouts de cartouches, les non-ajouts, machin.
The real hard part is.
Après, c'est pas facile. Mais voilà, ça prend du temps en fait de faire des updates. C'est tout un cycle en fait. Donc il faut qu'ils testent, etc. Voilà ce qu'il dit. Et pas vraiment le faire plus fréquemment.
And so it takes time, and whenever we're taking time doing that, we're not building content. And so it's just a hard balance for us to find, like, hey, what's the right amount of focusing on balancing and tuning? What's the right amount about making new rewards and pursuits and adding the depth that we talked about earlier? Like, you know, we want to update some of the systems, and we want to like make the game more interesting and like add more challenge in the game. How do we do that? It's hard to balance those.
Okay, that's fair. Another kind of big topic question. Are there any plans to completely separate PvE and PvP balancing? I know you guys are capable of adjusting the damage of weapons in PvE. Do you feel like there's a need for that separation? Is there a reason why you haven't? I imagine if there is not going to be a separation, it's probably related to the same reasons you guys have been giving in the past. Your thoughts?
So a thing that we've always thought was super important for Destiny is that you have a single Guardian with a single kit and set of abilities that you can take everywhere. We give you a bunch of different experience, whether it's like raid experiences or strike experiences or PvP, you're just more casual like free roam, and that you're the same Guardian playing in the same way. And a thing that I think we do pretty well is our shooting and our like gunplay feels good. And part of the reason why it feels good is that muscle memory of like just the same expectation of seamlessly going from your brain into the controller, like into the bullet. And that requires a level of consistency across the board. That doesn't mean that shooting a Thrall in the head is going to take the exact same number of bullets as shooting a Guardian in the head. There is some variance that we bake in and some balancing that we do, but we don't want to split them, because we think if we do that over time, it's going to cause us to lose that muscle memory and that feeling of a single Guardian.
Yeah. We want you to go into any activity and like, I'm playing Crucible and then I get a gun and kind of wonder like, well, what does this do when I take in the strikes? And they're not going to be optimized for every activity. Right. Even today, we do balance separate parts of the game differently. We want you to build a loadout that's customized to the challenges you're trying to tackle, but we also don't want to go so far that you feel like, oh, I'm just never going to participate in that part of the game. It's not worth it.
Okay. I'll take it easy on you guys on the next question.
No, keep going hard.
Keep going.
Well, let's get a little business out of the way.
Right.
Is Forsaken and the annual pass getting a price drop? Do I need them to play Shadowkeep?
Yeah, so what we're doing starting today is that everything that we've released in Destiny 2 up until now, so base Destiny 2 game, the expansions, Forsaken, and the annual pass, that's all being bundled together and dropped to just $40.
Okay.
So, and that's starting today. But we don't want to require any of that content to play new stuff. Like Luke and Mark said earlier, we want all of our expansions moving forward to be simple and a la carte. So if you like the stuff that we're showing off in Shadowkeep, you can just go and click purchase. You don't have to do the complicated thing like, wait, which pieces of the content do I own and which of these 11 SKUs should I buy?
Right.
And it's the same thing for recommending to your friend. Regardless of how much Destiny they've played, what they own, it's all the same entry point, which is just picking up Shadowkeep for $35.
Shadowkeep's $35. So we're keeping sort of that seasonal pace of content. Is that a la carte going to also apply to seasons?
Yeah, so we want the seasons to be a la carte.
Désolé,
because
j'ai dû me battre avec des
there are a
glaçons.
lot of things that I liked personally about the annual pass, but asking people to pre-purchase $35 up front of a year of content when we didn't even announce what the name of some of the seasons were, I think is not as cool as it could be. Like it's better if you can wait
J'ai raté des
and
choses
once you watch
importantes.
the trailer, once you hop in and see some of the content yourself.
Quand elle dit que le pass annuel c'est pas ouf quand tu sais même pas pourquoi les gens payent.
But we also want to make sure if you jump into Shadowkeep, we're not immediately putting our hand back out asking for more money. So Shadowkeep is going to give you Season 8 or whatever season it is starting then, for free as part of that.
So if I buy Shadowkeep in like January and it's season 10 or whatever, I would get season 10 as well.
Yeah, you'll just get that season. So you don't have to do the complicated question of like, which part of this premium content, like, do I need to buy? You just jump into Shadowkeep and you're going to have everything.
Or you could just decide to get season 10.
Yep.
Okay. I guess that kind of covers that question.
Comment vous achetez l'extension? Vous avez la saison en cours.
All right.
The community kind of laments the loss of things like new strikes, new PvP maps, and otherwise new additions to what they would consider staples of the Destiny experience. How valuable do you think those things are compared to making new activities?
En gros, il faut un
And are we ever
bundle
going
et
to see
dans
stuff like
pass
strikes, new
DLC,
PvP maps, and that kind of stuff return outside of major
Okay.
expansions like this?
They're super valuable. I mean, you see it with New Light, like they're going to be the entry point that we want to get all players into and playing together. So they're really important for us, and the team has big lists of things that they want to do. We've tried some of it in the past, like for Season 6, we did a lot of Gambit quality life updates, and there was new maps for it. It's just, again, the challenge with a game this wide is we can't do that all the time. And so we're definitely focusing like Season 8. We're coming back to the Crucible. Like we know we've spent too long, like we haven't done enough for it. We had a lot of commitments with Annual Pass 1, but now we're coming back. And I think we might not answer all the ritual game in any single season, but over the course of a year, probably going to touch a lot of different parts of the game.
Right. I hear you guys. I can hear you through Twitch chat screaming, "Ask about PvP." The question. It's. I got it. It's here. It's for a different person, but it's here. Don't worry. I
Il a dit qu'il poserait les questions pour le PVP,
Another
vous
thing I
inquiétez
want
pas.
to say there is like we tried to change up the formula with annual pass and with the seasonal model over the last year. Where if you remember before when we did DLCs, we would put a little bit of every single type of content in each one of the drops. But then that meant the whole team was working for months or years on just that, and there would be a long drought of content. And what we're trying to do now is every couple weeks, every single month, we're releasing something and keeping the world continuously evolving. But that means that we can't release everything at the same time. And so we've tried to revolve around and touch different parts of the content. But yeah, and for example, like I
Bon, là, il est en train de dire qu'ils veulent pas tout changer d'un coup, ils changent les choses petit à petit. Et par exemple, là, ils vont corriger le coup du pass annuel parce qu'en fait, c'est nul.
Yeah. So would you say that there is a chance that we'll see like a new strike throughout the year with the seasons? Like, I don't think
certainly possible. Like we haven't planned out exactly what's in each one of our seasons, but no type of content.
Ils n'ont pas encore planifié exactement ce qu'il y a dans les saisons.
Back to you. Like, what do you think the seasons are missing right now?
Yeah, I mean, again, it just kind of comes back to a lot of those staples of the Destiny experience. The game has grown very wide and just not very tall, which is something you guys are addressing in Shadowkeep. So I think the community would definitely like to see, you know, some strikes come back, a couple PvP maps, even like remastering some Destiny 1 maps, right? Bring back, you know, Rusted Lands and whatever else people want, Twilight Gap and all that. So I think people would absolutely love to see that. I guess final question for you guys. Do you worry about being able to produce the volume of content you produced this year without the help of Activision and the other studios? You know, because the community is insatiable. You'll never be able to make enough stuff to keep people entertained. And
yeah, I mean,
how do you guys feel about that?
Working with Activision, they were great partners. Vicarious Visions,
Activision était de bons partenaires.
A ton of the cool content and Forsaken in the annual pass that I'm really impressed by. A thing that we did though was we knew that this was going to end at the end of the annual pass. So what we've been working on for the last year is reconfiguring the team to make sure that we're in a place where the set of content expectations that we've set for players, we can continue delivering on every single season. So I feel confident that we can keep delivering a season's worth of content that Destiny players have come to expect every single season moving
N'hésitez pas à
forward.
répondre aux gens qui posent des questions qu'on a déjà abordées.
And then
Histoire que je puisse me
the hard
concentrer
thing,
sur
just
ce qui
like
se passe.
the original question about PvP balancing, is whenever we make new activity content, we're not being able to do the thing you just asked about, of like, well, how about practicing the existing stuff? And for a game that big, so
always
it's
a
real
trade-off.
hard to like. And this is the challenge. We haven't figured out the right balance for it. We're going to keep working on it, but it's going to be a question of like, what's the cool new adventures? What's the cool new ways that are going to challenge your monster killing machine every season? But how are we updating the rest of the game to also feed in and challenge your, like, give you new challenges for your character? But we have to do that in a way that also is healthy and sustainable for our team. Like, it's real hard servicing a game this big at this cadence. And so, but we want, Destiny's going to be around for a long time. We want this team to be excited, to be able to build all that content, come in with fresh ideas, and really be able to tackle some of these big challenges and make the best experiences. So that's a hard balance.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, we have mailing lists inside the studio where people talk about, because with this many people, not everybody knows everything that's going on. And so people are asking, like, hey, is there going to be a strike in the new release? Are you going to go do this quality of life update? Like, we all want to touch all the parts of Destiny as fast as we can, but we also don't want to ask the team to work every single weekend. Like, we want sensible, healthy, like, excited folks in the office, and we're always trying to hold that line because there's always more stuff to do than we have time for, right?
Right. Do you guys have anything else that you want to add before we transition here?
No.
All good? All right. Well,
thank you
guys very much for joining me.
Thanks.
Had to grill you guys a little bit more.
Oh, it's good.
And we're going to rotate here to two new guests, Koa and Raylene. What's up, man? Welcome to the table.
Hello. Excited to be here.
Claps all around. You guys are here to talk about New Light, something that I think a lot of people have wanted for the game, even though they maybe will not be engaging with it themselves, just like a lot of veteran players. Obviously, we already play the game, but everyone for a while has thought, man, they should really make Destiny 2 available for free for a lot of people, because you've done it in the past, right? You've done 3 weeks on Blizzard, and then like, for a month if you have PlayStation. And then maybe there was something, I don't even know if there was anything with Xbox. So what exactly
Non, ils ont pas parlé des
am I
droits. C'est
getting
quelqu'un qui arrive et
access
qui
to
donne un
with
truc comme ça.
New Light,
Ouais.
and when do I get access to it?
Quelqu'un très effrayé.
Yeah, this is really exciting.
Just spill it all out for me.
Yeah. So for New Light, it's a new entry point for Destiny. Right?
Donc là, il parle de New Light,
what that
l'expérience de
means
base
is that it's tailored towards new players, but all players
qui va
can
être,
experience it.
qui va être
So
gratuite.
if you make a new character, and if you're a veteran player, you'll experience the New Light flow. And it's exciting because it's not a trial, right? It's not an expansion. It's not a different part of the game. It is the game. It's Destiny, and it's free. Which is
very good.
Yeah.
Comment elle sort ça? C'est gratuit?
As Raylene said, it's the whole game, right? So it's not just some subsection portion of it. It's the full breadth of content that you get as Destiny players. So you get access to strikes, you get access to all destinations, you get to free roam, you get to look for lost sectors, you get to play all that content that's been out there in the world that you've been playing a ton of, right?
Right.
For free, which is really cool for us. I think that's a really exciting change.
Yeah.
And we're happy to have people actually get to experience that content who never have before.
Absolutely. I was watching Twitch chat during the Vidoc, and when that came up, I saw a lot of, is this Destiny 1 remastered and blah, blah, blah. Can you just clarify that it is or is not a complete remaster of Destiny 1?
No,
it is not a remaster.
It is not a remaster.
It is
C'est
not
pas un remaster
a
aussi, hein, donc ça, c'est
remaster.
logique.
It is like the first mission is, I guess, remastered.
Yeah.
En fait, on a
So
la
you do the
première
first
mission
mission,
Destiny
like
1.
you're playing Destiny 1, and then you're just flown right to the tower. You land, and then I can go do stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, how do I... You said that you would unlock things over time, essentially. How, like, let's say I'm brand new, download New Light, do the first mission, land in the tower. I want to go to Mars. What do I got to do to go to Mars?
Yeah. So one of our biggest goals is to remove barriers, kind of what you're mentioning, so that you can play together with your friends, and you can do that within the first like 20 minutes. So once you land in the tower, as you're saying, the first, I guess maybe I'll dive back a little bit. For the Cosmodrome mission, it's about 15 minutes or so, and you'll learn the basic elements of Destiny, how to shoot your gun and that kind of thing. But once you get into the tower, you can start playing strikes, you can start playing Crucible, you can start playing
Donc il y a juste à faire le début et après vous pouvez tout de suite jouer à ce qui vous intéresse.
We have a system that we're building that will unlock destinations over time, but it's not going to be very, very long.
Vous battez pas dans le chat, hein. S'il vous plaît.
The world doesn't feel so overwhelming.
Soyez pas comme le chat de...
We're not trying to like lock content. We're trying to make it ease players
Le chat en anglais.
Right. Yeah.
Bon, ça va en vrai, le chat en anglais il dit juste trials, emotes, emotes, trials, emotes. À peu près ça actuellement.
The thing you were talking about there, where how do you get to Mars, right? You start after you do the Cosmo mission, you go to Tower, and you have access to EDZ. You play that for a little bit. We haven't tuned exactly how long you'll play, but it's probably not very long.
Bon, ça c'est pas vraiment ce qui nous concerne.
Complete bounties and other activities, you'll quickly unlock.
Je ferai une vidéo résumée dans la live. Non, je vais carrément mettre ce qu'on est en train de faire en fait. Encore mieux.
Okay.
Pourquoi couper?
What kind of stuff am I getting with New Light? Like, can I go play the original Destiny 2 campaign?
Yes.
Can I play Curse of Osiris?
Yes.
Warmind?
Yes. Easy. It's an easy question.
Les deux?
Okay. So
le tal et pas Monster Hunter parce que c'est sur
You can play all
PS4.
those campaign content if you want to.
Sera décalé sur PC.
For us, we're making it optional, right? So back to the barriers kind of thing. We want
Borderlands 3 et
you
Destiny 2.
to play with your friends right away, right? And if you want to go experience the campaigns of the past, you can go ahead and play that as well, right?
Okay.
Ok, on peut faire les campagnes d'avant.
Like Leviathan?
Mais c'est trop bien, mais genre on va pouvoir en faire aussi. Non, je pense de D2.
What about Forsaken then?
Mais on peut aussi jouer avec ses potes
direct. Like
direct.
Dreaming City and Tangled Shore, like what's the limits on Forsaken?
So that's a little bit different. As far as Tangled Shore and Dreaming City, you can go there. We actually want you to be able to explore all destinations. So we mentioned that you'll unlock destinations over time. You'll see that. Dreaming City, Tangled Shore, and actually the Moon as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Shadowkeep. And you'll see all the destinations, you'll be able to play all that stuff. And what will happen is we're giving you all of that access, but then if you wanted to, like say you play Shadowkeep and you really like the raid content, you really enjoyed the way that feels with your friends, or you really like story missions, if you want to go back and play the Forsaken story campaign or any of the Forsaken raids, like Last Wish or the dungeons in Forsaken as well, then the Forsaken package is available to buy, and that's a separate thing.
Ok, on peut toujours acheter Renégat.
All the destinations are available to you at all times.
So basically, if I want to go play like the meaty stuff of Forsaken, like
the
raids,
Comme j'ai dit, j'aime
the
beaucoup ce personnage.
dungeon, the campaign,
Et la lune, ça me plaît bien, et de revoir aussi
exotic quests,
tous ces personnages.
things like that, things that are the beefy stuff. I would need to go buy Forsaken, but I don't need Forsaken to go play Shadowkeep.
Pour le coup, je suis contente de les revoir.
Is there anything
Alors d'habitude, je suis pas trop pour la réutilisation.
I feel like we covered basically everything that I needed to cover.
It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about because as a new light player.
Elle a l'air trop sympa la meuf là.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, on destinations you think about. There's also like public events.
Tu veux pas devenir mon ami?
Adventures. We have some like blind well, content that that is public and brings people together. And it's just really exciting to have new players come try out all this stuff because there are so many kind of barriers before to be able to just jump right in.
Mais oui, bah oui, c'est un jeu en ligne quand même.
Players have been hoping for Destiny 2 to go free in some way for a while. Like what you guys did at BlizzCon was fantastic. I saw tons of new people, like little.
Vous pouvez même pas dire c'est parce que vous avez pas de bon PC, parce que vous pouvez aller sur c'est quoi Stadia? J'ai oublié. On dirait le nom d'un sucre. Vous savez, ces sucres sans sucre là. Les sucrètes là que les gens utilisent.
And just knowing how much stuff they get
Stadia.
access to as well is pretty.
Me too. My friends,
inspiring.
like anecdotally, like, oh, I want to play Destiny, but what do I have to do to catch up to you? So.
Oh, one more question. What level do I start at? So, sorry, let me clarify.
Yeah.
You have your character level, and then you have power level.
Correct. Yeah.
What character level do I start at? What power level do I start at?
Yeah. So right now we're tuning this back and forth, so it could change, but it's 750, right? But
power level 750.
Yes.
That's what you start at. So basically the cap
of today.
Yeah.
Okay.
As of right now.
On commence à 75 de puissance.
Our goal is that so that you can jump right in and play the most current content.
Yes.
Right. That is the.
Yeah.
Je veux comprendre comment on va pouvoir jouer à tout.
Sort of related to the boost that people can do for the beginning of the season, which I thought was also a very good idea. Helps people get right into it.
Yeah.
It's all platforms. All platforms.
Je sais trop rien.
If you guys have nothing else to add, I think that'll do it.
Sweet, man.
Sweet.
All right.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so
much. Thank you very much for joining me.
Talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
And we have our last guest here.
All right.
Hey, bud.
All right.
I got some zingers for you.
All right.
I got some hardball ones.
You know, we can get to this. I want to talk to you for a few minutes.
Okay.
First. You've had a pretty eventful week, dude.
Eventful is one way to put it, yeah.
So first, I know I want to talk to you a little bit about the raid, but I want to talk to you about the weekend before.
Okay.
Because so you're battling throat infection. This was like the raid was like your flu game, your Michael Jordan flu game.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Be Bold. Congrats on the world first. Carolina Gainer. What's up, man? Esoteric.
So you're.
Il lui reparle du World
First.
First.
Me through it. I've watched it. I was actually in your channel watching as it all went down. Like, just give me a little bit of like, you've had a couple days to process it now. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, I'm happy where we placed. We found out that it was actually the closest between first and second in the history of Destiny.
C'était la première fois que le premier et le deuxième étaient si proches dans une course au World First.
Like, you got all these silvers and bronzes, and it's like, yeah, but a gold one would be nice.
Yeah.
One day to put on the mantle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll try next time. I think we got a really solid squad.
You'll have another chance this fall.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get some hardball questions. Why did you decide to partner with Google Stadia? Because I assume the relationship's a little different compared to Activision, but I think many assume that after you guys got away from Activision, you really go on your own. Is Stadia going to have a significant impact on development of the game?
Est-ce que Stadia va pouvoir
There's a couple types of development. There's the the first thing
avoir son mot à dire.
Like, it's that vision that I laid out at the top with Mark, you know, the awesome action MMO, single evolving world that you can play anywhere, and Stadia is a step in delivering the play it anywhere stuff.
Mais ça, ils disent le truc du début, quoi. On peut jouer partout.
creatively, it's not going to change our creative. Like from the beginning, we've tried to make Destiny a game where it's like one executable. Like we don't make.
Il dit que ça changera rien.
Yeah, we're not making exclusives anymore going forward.
Yeah.
But development-wise, there's an impact because we've taken a bunch of our talented engineering team to like stand up Stadia this year. So like there's.
C'est moi qui pose la question, Radio Free.
We think it's an awesome partnership.
All right. For the first time ever, you guys used the word MMO to describe Destiny.
And is it really the first time?
The first time that I can remember.
C'est la première fois qu'ils utilisent le mot MMO.
I can remember dating back to an interview that Adam Sessler did with Destiny, and he said like they very actively avoided the word MMO. And so I was very surprised to hear that. MMO to a lot of people is scary. You know, it's a lot of grinding, management, education. Why the
We got some of those things in the game right now.
Yeah.
Some grinding, some education, some management.
There's definitely some, but why the change, and what are you doing to make sure that Destiny still keeps its identity while also expanding upon the systems that MMO or RPG players have come to want? You know, Johnny Two Sticks is like, I just want to shoot aliens, like miss me with the spreadsheets, right? So
yeah, so we're going to preserve like the core action game for Destiny.
Non, faut pas faire ça.
Johnny or Jane Two Sticks comparison you're
Donc là, il disait qu'on pouvait avoir peur que le côté action soit un petit peu amoindri par le côté RPG.
Cultural here, like we have an awesome sandbox team. We've had an amazing group of folks who have built a rad action game.
Moi, ça me dérange
For
pas.
us, the MMO language isn't about some of the baggage that comes with it. It's not
plus
about the
d'RPG.
like subscription
Ça
side
va pas
of things.
changer le
It's
jeu.
really more about how does it point the way to where we need to go, which is that deeper character customization, a phrase that we've used here a fair bit over the last years. We want to get more depth on the character sheet. Like when we look at the character sheet, even post the Fortnite changes, the character sheet still just doesn't have enough depth on it. And at different points in the
Et c'est très bien s'il y a plus de builds et de...
Year 6. It had more. Like when people were chasing, you know,
Tu t'identifies plus quand il y a plus de RPG à ton personnage.
Those are the types of things that we want to start with and bring back, but we think the future over the long horizon is much brighter than just that.
Yeah.
And so
Non, ça m'étonnerait que ça. Je vois pas où est-ce que ils apparaîtraient à l'E3.
built the right things yet for the social fabric for the game, and we want to make it easier for players to play together, get into activities. There are all kinds of checks that I could like sit here and write that we haven't committed to yet, but improving the social game is a check that we're gonna fix over time. And I just want to like remind folks that when we talk about things like vision, we're not necessarily just talking about like, and all of this is coming this fall. We're really trying to, now that we can have that like open dialogue with here's where Destiny's going over time. Like here's where we're going on the long arc of the Destiny franchise.
Yeah, well, speaking of the long arc of the Destiny franchise, are we going somewhere with this story? Because we started.
Est-ce qu'on va quelque part avec l'histoire parce qu'on a l'impression en fait qu'ils savent même pas eux-mêmes où ils vont.
What did we just do in the Black Garden? Like what? Okay, and then like okay, now the Oryx storyline, and then the Riven storyline, and then this storyline, and then this one.
Parce qu'on a plein d'arcs en fait.
18 different branches that all seem like they're doing their own thing. It seems like we're just living in the world of Destiny and maybe not experiencing like an overall story. Like,
mais il n'y a pas un truc global qui nous drive.
It feels a bit too much like life rather than an arc.
It's like where are we going?
So we've talked about this a bunch internally. Like we have over the years had kind of like different monster of the weeks is how we described it. You know, Dark Below to Dark Below Crota, Oryx. That was all just like a monster of the week story. What we're doing this fall with Shadowkeep is, you know, we did put some arrows into flight at the end of Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. Shadowkeep is the next chapter in that like broader universe story. Like we are going to be, you know, back some of these layers over time. The thing that we're trying to make sure we do, and we haven't always done our best work with this, is feel like the universe is going somewhere. Like people want to feel like what they're doing matters, and that it's heading toward. I don't want to say a resolution or an ending because I don't think Destiny's heading toward.
Ça va pas vers une fin, bien sûr.
Heading somewhere where there's going to be change.
Right. Yeah. Just somewhere where we feel like, oh, okay, this is where that's all going down.
Mais voilà, il dit. Bah, je pense que là c'est un peu bullshit.
Removed, but I'm
il dit que ça
anyway.
ira quoi.
Trials? Question mark?
So the thing we talked about up front is, I'm glad you asked. I think that if you didn't ask about trials, that would have been bad for us. And really bad for you.
Alors, Trials!
That your community wants to know.
Because PvP for the last year has been, here's a new comp weapon that's just been easier to get, and comp is pretty bare bones, and PvP has been, or has felt neglected over the past year, and I gotta ask about Trials.
So,
Très franchement, je suis pas persuadée.
Je
pense qu'il dit ça pour rassurer aussi. On les connaît.
The like crappy metaphor for the way I'm thinking about this is we have like some additions we want to make to the house, but first we've got to like look at the house and repair the foundation, and we've got like work to do and maintenance to do.
Ça c'est ce que j'ai dit. Ils veulent refaire bien proprement la base avant de s'attaquer à Trials.
When I watched the raid this week, I saw the comp weapons getting a lot of play, so they are certainly motivating acquisition, and they're delivering a power fantasy. I think those things have been pretty cool, and I know that I know people love Trials.
Je pense que c'est surtout aussi
Trials. There was a debate as to whether or not I should
wear. Ils peuvent pas relancer Trials en même temps qu'ils font ça. Enfin, chaque chose en son temps, quoi.
My friends over at Lab. And I think it's the type of thing that we love it. Like what we're trying to do with Destiny, and this is gonna tie in. Maybe if you decide to ask another question about the moon, what we're trying to do with Destiny going forward, like the total plan, aside from the vision, is we want it to be the ultimate version over time, and that's kind of where we're heading.
Okay, but when is it coming out?
Got work to do. Like we got to repair the foundation.
On n'a pas de réponse.
Okay.
Valiant.
Il est en train de dire.
For that, I'm giving you.
Vous pouvez pas dire que j'ai pas essayé.
I'm gonna role play. Okay, you're gonna be Luke, and I'm gonna be mad on the internet. TM.
Donc là, il va faire comme s'il était un méchant.
How are you gonna respond to people in Twitch chat who are gonna say?
You still seem like Dado right now, though.
I know.
Character.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always mad. You guys are reusing old assets to refresh the game under a major expansion.
Ah voilà, donc le fait qu'ils réutilisent plein de trucs de D1.
Dreaming City, Dreaming City was crazy, and they had Scorn, and then Taken King had the Taken, and we went to the Dreadnought, and now we're going back to the moon, and we're fighting high. Like, what do you say to those people? Recycled content, by the way. So what do you say to them?
I know that you talked to Ben and Catherine earlier, and that I don't remember if they exactly talked about like when we take something like a planet and bring it back, like we're going to update it to the latest context and change the world. And there's a bunch of like cool Easter eggs and stuff and Out of the Shadows for people. But the other thing that I want to address here with your question is like how does something like bringing a destination back fit into the overall vision for Destiny going forward, where we have made all kinds of awesome stuff in our history, and we have this opportunity as we continue to like grow this content war chest to update these things, bring them back in new ways. Like it's not coincidence that we've ended different things with references to things that we've done before, or like some note that I wrote and signed off with had a reference to a classic raid. Like we really are looking at the backlog that we're building and thinking about what the future of Destiny looks like and how we're gonna be able to leverage that backlog going forward. And the moon is kind of us like dipping our toes in the water to see how it feels, and it's also us taking an awesome stab at what does it mean to take a place that we've been to before and update it into a new context. And it was the origin of this actually. A bunch of the origin of this came from.
C'est quoi cette tâche? Je viens de comprendre. C'est un casque de titan.
They're like playing around with the lighting engine for D2, and they relit the moon, and they just sent like a couple screenshots over to Mike Zach and I.
J'ai l'impression qu'il est très bullshit quand même lui un peu, non? Genre.
Like this looks awesome, and we just get excited about that stuff. You know, we see it, and then the team gets their hands on it, and they get excited about it. And then there's this. It's like
du live, hein?
Mari ball of
YouTube va m'en vouloir.
The moon's a place that it's a thing like haunting us in the sky. Like you'd like look up at night and you see it. The opportunity of Destiny to go back to a place that's that nearby unknown and see how it's changed over the last few years. We think it's gonna be awesome.
All right. I got one more question.
Il l'a endormi dans sa réponse là.
Anyway, so I'm just gonna ask it anyway. Destiny 3, what are we doing? Are we? Because I think some people are surprised
c'est votre question. Destiny 3.
Destiny 3 is not coming this time around. Are we gonna keep Destiny 2 and just keep stacking on expansions? Do you want to make a Destiny 3?
Est-ce qu'on va faire durer des deux ou des trois?
Anything? Because I'm sure that's super far out, and you can't say much, but. If you got anything.
It's anything that we're going to do beyond what we're talking about today is super far out. And like right now, we've really recommitted the team to Destiny 2, the next chapter of it's this fall. We've got
ils sont concentrés sur l'extension, ils vont rien dire quoi.
There's a bunch of stuff that we talked about here that we've got to deliver on. And a thing that I will say about the future of Destiny is that vision that we outlined is going to be true no matter what we do. Like we are making an awesome action MMO in a single evolving world that you can play anywhere, and that's what we're going to be doing. Are you? Did we exhaust?
C'était pas hyper intéressant,
I think we got like one or two more, but I don't think we have time to.
J'aime bien quand il y a des faits.
The clock is at 0 and beeping.
Yeah, it's angry at me.
And so, before we go, there's one last thing I want to talk about, which is, behind us is an amazing team here, and we only got to look at a few members of the team today and a few members in the Vidocs, but the Bungie team is so much bigger than just the 11 people or so here at the company. They are, like, who showed up. They're doing an amazing job.
Putain, j'aimerais pas travailler là dans le noir comme ça.
They're doing an amazing job, and they're working so hard, and everyone here loves the game, and we're trying to make the best game that we can. And so I just want to make sure that we acknowledge the team real quick. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with us. I want to thank Dado coming in. No wounds to lick. It's okay with second place.
Yeah.
Before we go,
il arrête pas de lui reparler de la deuxième place, c'est horrible.
One last look at the trailer for Shadowkeep.
Ah, le trailer. Le pauvre, on n'arrête pas de lui parler de sa seconde place.
Looking to the future always brings us back to the past. Can you feel them?
Oh, yes.
I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our
ça me plaît.
fears, they rise again.
Ça me plaît.
And in the dark below.
Ça fait longtemps que j'ai pas été aussi hypée sur Destiny.
Something wicked.
Je l'étais pour certaines choses, mais pas à ce point.
Has awakened.
Iris, ça s'appelle pas Iris.
We must bring an end to this suffering. One way.
Je vais expliquer après la chronique.
Or another.
C'est vrai, oui. Voilà. Donc oui, en fait moi j'ai essayé de faire une petite pause chronique des games as service. On va baisser un petit peu. Donc tout ce qui est Destiny, Anthems, Division pour proposer ce que je propose en ce moment, avoir une programmation plus détaillée. Et enfin plus par émission, etc. Enfin là par exemple la programmation de cette semaine, je vais vous la montrer très facilement. 17 septembre, voilà, vous voyez la date. Tac, tac. J'enlève ça. Et si je te montre la prog. Quelque chose de plus organisé, voilà, c'était ça le mot. Avec des émissions, voilà, tout ça. Donc tu le vois là, il y a des jours avec des choses bien précises. Et forcément, les games as service, ça ne va pas dans cette catégorie. Je vais vous remettre l'autre écran du coup. Et du coup, j'avais décidé un petit peu de poser ça. Mais la pause, comme je le disais pendant le live, n'aura pas duré longtemps parce que là... On va retourner sur des signes. Hein. Là, franchement, moi je suis hyper hypée par ce qu'on a vu. Je sais pas vous, mais... Top. Top, top, top. Je suis très intéressée par ce qui a été proposé. Après, chacun ses goûts, hein, bien sûr, comme toujours. Et cette extension fait un peu l'effet de... Ouais, je sais pas, en fait, c'est peut-être la destination, le fait de plus voir des cabales toutes les 3 secondes aussi, parce que franchement, j'en avais marre des cabales, perso. Là, j'ai très très envie... J'ai pas la rêve, j'ai rêve de... J'ai très envie du coup, ouais. De me réimpliquer de façon un peu plus poussée dans le jeu, mais du coup, je sais pas comment je vais faire sur des matinales, sur les week-ends, faut que je vois, parce que je veux quand même garder ma programmation, en fait. Bien sûr que je sais tout, je suis l'actualité du jeu, Zenscape, t'inquiète. Je la suis assidûment. J'ai juste essayé de me concentrer sur mon projet de stream, et je peux pas tout faire en même temps. C'est une certitude. Tu vois, une pause comme ça va rester. Hop. Je peux pas tout faire, donc voilà. Mais là, c'est sûr qu'en tout cas, le 17 septembre, on sera là-dessus. Vous pouvez compter sur moi. C'est annoncé, c'est fixé. Je serai là. Ah non, je suis assidûment chronique. Tu peux demander à Lint. On parle très, très fréquemment des ajouts sur Destiny, de ce qui se passe, de qui... Non, t'inquiète. Non, c'est un jeu, moi, c'est un coup de cœur, hein, faut pas l'oublier. C'était la première fois que j'avais un coup de foudre à ce point pour un jeu, enfin, très particulier, tu vois, c'est ce côté frisson, en fait, quand j'ai joué à bêta. Parce que mon jeu préféré, ça reste la licence Fallout, mais voilà. Et du coup, ce qu'on va faire, nous, en tout cas... Alors, attendez, donc, du coup, sur ce qu'on a dit, là, moi, je trouve ça génial, by the way, voilà. Hein. J'ai très hâte de mettre les mains dessus, par contre, on va quand même nous laisser l'été, hein, tant pis, j'aurais bien aimé que ça arrive dans 2 semaines, tiens, on jouait dans 2 semaines à Shadowkeep, on était bien, hein. Donc au niveau des annonces, il y a le cross-save, donc le fait que vous puissiez par exemple prendre votre partie sur une console et l'amener sur PC, ou de votre PC l'amener à Stadia, c'est ça, c'est comme ça qu'il s'appelle, qu'il est dispo sur Stadia d'ailleurs, qui va arriver prochainement, que le jeu de base de Destiny 2 va devenir free-to-play, et qu'en fait on achètera des packs. Donc en fait par exemple là vous allez pouvoir prendre le jeu de base gratuit et prendre directement le pack Shadowkeep et c'est bon. Voilà, vous êtes à jour, vous pouvez continuer. C'est sûr Zenskate. Il renforce le côté RPG. On a vu tout un arbre, hein, vous allez voir ça. De toute façon je vais mettre la rediff sur YouTube juste après. Hein. Ils ont pas mis le prix, c'est vrai. Mais s'il y a pré-order en même temps. Y a pas le prix dessus? Non? Je sais pas. Si quelqu'un peut aller vérifier, ça m'arrangerait. Lynn, si tu peux checker sur le truc pendant que je parle là. Donc il renforce, voilà, on s'est revu en fait le côté, l'aspect RPG du jeu revu, que de la version collector. Bah, du coup on a déjà cette info. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre? Que maintenant en fait vous allez pouvoir prendre les perks des armures, genre vous avez chopé une armure avec une perk que vous adorez, mais l'armure vous plaît pas, vous allez pouvoir prendre la perk et la caler sur l'armure qui vous plaît. Il y a plein de trucs, on va retourner sur la lune, on va revoir Cropta et tous ses potes. Ça a l'air génial, la lune est 2 fois plus grande que la lune d'avant. Donc plein de choses comme ça, hein, beaucoup de choses, je vais rediffuser tout ça sur YouTube. On va d'ailleurs dire au revoir YouTube. Et on va se dire au revoir nous aussi, parce qu'on va se retrouver dans quelques instants pour le vrai live qui était prévu pour ce soir, qui était donc sur The Long Dark. Et du coup je vais vous abandonner très rapidement, mais ensuite... ils reviennent en fait, ils sont réanimés par les ténèbres, et c'est un peu vos pires cauchemars qui reviennent. Voilà. On s'abandonne là-dessus les gens. Je vous dis au revoir, je vous dis à tout de suite pour ceux qui sont sur le live, bien sûr, j'en ai pour 5-10 minutes, et on repart du coup sur le jeu qu'on devait faire ce soir. Je vous remercie, en tout cas je suis vraiment hype, ça fait plaisir, les nouvelles là sur Destiny, je suis top. Des bisous.